Welcome back. It's Tyson Sharp here. And if you're looking to actually follow through with your business goals, here I'm going to give you 5 questions that you can do that in a very aligned way. So stay tuned. And a big welcome back to you, my online family. Man, I feel excited. I feel a little bit nervous. I feel just grateful that I get to share with you what's going on in my life and some of the things that are really working, some of the things that are turning my life around and helping me get some success that I've never seen before. And one of the things I'm starting to notice, and you might be noticing this in yourself as well, is when people start to set goals and they feel the expansion, they feel like this is aligned for them, but they never seem to follow through. And the big question is, why is that? And that's what we're going to tackle here in terms of why people not necessarily follow through on their goals, what's holding them back. And then I'm going to deliver 5 key questions that I ask myself every single day so that you actually follow through in a way that's aligned. And here's what I've noticed, and you might have noticed this as well in yourself or in those you see in the entrepreneurial world, is that most people are setting goals from a place of, I want to achieve this outcome, this specific tangible result, so that I can feel happy. Because when I see myself there, I see myself as better than where I am right now. And I am starting to truly realize that that is in and of itself a limiting belief. That in and of itself is a pattern that stops us from accessing the level of resourcefulness that we need in order to achieve it. Right? So when we set a goal and we set something that says, you know what, I want to achieve that 6-figure launch. I want to achieve that, that 10 grand month. I want to go ahead and expand my social media to reach, 100,000 people. We have these goals. We have these things that are in us that say like, man, if I was to achieve that, that would be incredible. And then we start to feel in and think, well, if I set that and don't achieve it, what does that mean about me? What does that mean about my life? What does that mean about what's possible? And as you feel that, you can feel the lack, the scarcity, and the fear. And I'm sure you know by now that whenever we place a goal and whenever we take action from an unconscious undertone of fear, it's never the real outcome. It's never the real outcome we want, and it's never the real outcome with the intent that's from our heart, that's from our soul. And you can see this in people. People achieve all the time. They go out from a place of achievement. They succeed at their goal. And have you noticed, or have you seen people that just truly recognize it's never enough? Right? They strive, they achieve, and then they're just constantly going for the next thing. And you got to ask yourself, why is that? Why are they always going for the next thing and they're never satisfied with what they're achieving? Right? And so if you started to notice this within yourself, I'm going to start to shift a few things and allow you to ask some different questions from a place of empowerment rather than a place of fear, a place of expansion rather than a place of contraction. So as you breathe right now, if you were to imagine you have this goal and all of a sudden you never hit it. You never hit your goal. It's a big flop, a big heap of, a big deep dive in terms of what you thought it was going to be. And what's the emotion that comes up? What is that emotion? Now, a lot of people will feel into it and they'll feel, man, there's this disappointment, this sadness, this anxiety, this stress, this worry. And if that's you, you can be completely honest with yourself and say, maybe the one who's setting the goals and the one who's running the show moving forward is this inner child within me. This inner 5-year-old that says, I need to achieve that in order to feel enough. I need to achieve this goal in order to feel like I'm safe, in order to feel like I'm worthy, in order to feel like I can achieve the love that I crave. And the more you breathe with that, the more you begin to be aware of it, the more you can see why it is you might not be achieving the goals and following through with your goals the way your heart is leading you towards. Because if you're setting a goal from a place of fear and trying to achieve it from a place of needing to be enough and needing to achieve in order to feel enough or in order to feel safe or loved, can you feel how you won't be accessing the internal resourcefulness that's needed in order to achieve something you never achieved before? So breathe that in. Breathe it in. If you can hold a loving, safe space for this internal 5-year-old, this internal side of you that's freaking out, that feels like this needs to be achieved and we need to make this money to feel safe, and we don't want to be judged along the way. And the more you do that, you can just feel, breathe into it and say, you know what? I'm going to love myself no matter what. I'm going to love this side of me no matter what happens. And it's completely okay that I'm freaking out. It's okay no matter what I'm feeling. I feel acceptance with everything. The more you feel acceptance with everything, the more peace you'll find here in the moment. Now, why is that important? When you hold a space for this internal 5-year-old, who's the side of you that's watching that 5-year-old, and who's now the side of you that's running the show when you set your goals? Think about all the level of love, joy, passion, anticipation that you can have. All that excitement you can have for being on this goal, for being on this path, on this journey to achieving this goal. Visualize your goal right now, what it is you want to achieve. Specific, something that's tangible, something that you know is simple enough that you can visualize. Now think about this. As soon as you declare that, all of a sudden what pops up are all the obstacles along the way, both internal and external, in order to achieve that goal. Now let me ask you, if I was to just give you the goal, if I was just to give you the outcome, whether it be money or clients, or if it was to be some sort of following on social media, if I was just to give that to you, this internal pattern, this internal 5-year-old that learned I need success to feel love, might be happy for a little bit, might be happy for 5, 15 minutes, maybe a few days, maybe even a couple months. But at some level, you'll also feel robbed. At some level, you'll also feel like there's something still missing. And what is that? If I was just to hand you your goal, what would be missing? The question is, what's missing inside you? And that is that if I was to hand you your goal, you wouldn't grow. You wouldn't grow into the version of you that your heart's pulling you towards. You wouldn't grow into the version of you that is expansive. You wouldn't evolve into the version of you that has more to contribute. And this is the key insight. No matter when you set your goals or how you go about your day or what happens in certain circumstances and events, truly what matters most is who you're becoming on that journey. And setting goals allows you to see the obstacles necessary for you to become that version of yourself. So if you were to have a $100,000 launch and that's your goal, all of a sudden these fears come up, this uncertainty, this doubt. Not only that, but the external obstacles of how am I going to do that? What's the strategy? How do I build an audience? How do I build an audience for this? How do I build a social media strategy or a launching strategy for it? All these things come up, and they're the obstacles that are necessary for you to evolve into the version of yourself that's capable of achieving that. If I was just to hand you the result, you would never have the opportunity to grow. And that's what matters most in terms of a fulfilling life, is who you become on the journey. So here's the 5 questions that I ask myself and that you can consistently ask yourself time and time and time again if you're to truly live a life where you don't only achieve, but you feel fulfilled as well. So as a business owner, question number 1, clearly, it's write down exactly what you want. What is it that you want to achieve? Something that's simple, something that's tangible, something that can be measured. What is that? What is that something that you really want to achieve? And question number 2, why do you want to achieve it? What does that mean to you? What does it mean for you in your life? What's now possible? What does it mean for you and others? What does your life now look like? What's the meaning behind it? Number 3, it's all about who you need to become. Who do you need to become in order to achieve this goal? If you're to visualize your goal and already achieving it, who are you in that moment? What are your beliefs? What are you feeling? What are you doing day in, day out? Right? Number 4, what are the internal and external obstacles that emerge the moment you set that goal? And how are they helping you become that person? How are those internal and external challenges present you the opportunity for you to grow into that version of yourself that's capable of achieving it? Jotting that down, writing that down is going to be key for following through, because you'll give the meaning, you'll give the obstacles a very different meaning. You'll give the challenges a very different meaning. Anything that pops up that was unexpected is now your friend. It's now working for you. It's now helping you grow. And number 5, how can you schedule those action items? Whatever you need to overcome those obstacles and move forward towards your goal, how can you schedule it so that you lock in those action items and that you lock in your growth? Because as soon as your mind sees those obstacles, it'll refer to comfort. It'll refer to safety. But if you have a heart that wants to contribute, that wants to grow, that wants to expand, that wants to love at deeper levels, that wants to enjoy the ride along the way, those challenges, those obstacles, those action items need to be scheduled so that you can truly lock yourself in and say, this is going to happen at this day, at this time. And so lock those in. Lock those in, those action items. So they're the 5 questions. They're the 5 questions that when you truly ask yourself, you'll find answers time and time again, deep answers that not only register with your action items and what you need to do to achieve the goal, but the internal fulfillment that will come along the way. Because you'll truly tap into what matters most to you, and you'll tap into a side of you that's looking to evolve, that's looking to grow, and looking to do that in a way where you can just contribute, right? Contribute at different levels. And that's why we're here, especially if we're in business. So hopefully this helps. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'd love to see your response in the comments of what you think here and what types of questions you're going to implement. And if you're listening on the podcast, always a pleasure. I love putting out these episodes for you guys. I love seeing all the reviews on iTunes. I truly appreciate it. And I'll consistently move forward with these as long as they benefit you guys. And I love the engagement. So thank you so much. Move forward with your goals. Move forward with the passion, the intensity, the love that you know you have inside, and access that resourcefulness, because you are worth it. You are truly worth it. Worth moving on your goals. And the divine energy flowing through you is wanting to give, is wanting to contribute. So move forward with that. I'll see you on the next episode.